Here's a look back at 2022 on Elevating Denver for January 2023. Celebrate the new year with a Mile High City retrospective of the people, places, and events of 2022.
It's pretty cool. Everybody's engaged, everybody's excited, happy.
The editorial staff has picked nothing but the best from last year. Join us for our favorites.
You know, one of the things that's been the hallmark of what we do is just stay on top of the trends.
It's a year in review just ahead on Elevating Denver.
Oh my gosh, we're having the best celebration on the front steps of and the front door of the city of Denver. We are celebrating the Colorado Avalanche and their Stanley Cup championship win.
There's a lot of positivity and excitement about this, so yeah, I think everybody's kind of walking on sunshine, as they say. It's pretty cool. Everybody's engaged, everybody's excited, happy. So I think it could be better timing.
Once the Colorado Avalanche entered the championship playoffs for the Stanley Cup, the city really started to energize and come together and collaborate on putting together what might be a parade and rally to celebrate a Stanley Cup victory. And so we didn't want to talk about it too much because we didn't want to jinx anything. But behind the scenes, there was a lot of activity. Many departments within the city started coming together, making plans for a parade, a rally, making sure we were going to make it safe for everybody, make sure it was going to be compelling for everybody. And it was a lot of moving parts to pull together.
Oh, wow. It's like planning for the unknown. Obviously watching the Avalanche progress through the playoffs and finally get to the finals. I think that's when it became a reality that this could happen. And, there was a couple of little setbacks along the way, but the city had to plan throughout. I mean, we were in touch with the Avalanche, trying to coordinate what ifs. Nobody wants to jinx anything. That's an important thing to be aware of. But hey, here we are. It all came together. But it's been at least 3 weeks of constant back and forth and just coordinating. Jill from the Office of Special Events has really been the lead of all this. She's taken the reins and coordinated and then assigned us to various tasks and making sure all of our teams are buttoned up and ready to go.
First, I want to thank Governor Polis, Mayor Hancock for being here, and everybody that helped set up the parade, helped with all the details. And this is just amazing. Look at this crowd. What a parade. That's unbelievable.
We worked really closely with the Colorado Avalanche as well as Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, and I was just so happy to work with all of those partners. It went really well. A lot of just capable, driven, motivated people came together just to do the best we could for this.
There's everything from logistics to security to media access, and then of course, making sure that the fans are going to have a great, safe time. Obviously, in this day and age, safety is always a huge concern and a top priority for the city of Denver. So we've really pulled out all the stops from a safety perspective, and that's been top of mind from the very beginning, even during the playoffs, keeping fans safe and making sure people are celebrating safely.
It's a thing where everybody's excited. Everybody's going to be. It's a stellar day. You saw the signs on the behind me, the Colorado Avalanche Boulevard. So it's pretty cool that everybody's embracing this. I mean, the team was at the Rockies game last night as part of the opening, ceremonies, throwing out the first pitch and whatnot. So it's cool that all the teams have bonded together. We saw a lot of Broncos players at the finals and throughout the playoffs. So it's cool. Everybody's excited. There's no question.
And, we thought at one point, like, maybe we're doing all this work and, it's not going to come to fruition. And, I was at that point just like, but I'm learning so much and this is still really a great opportunity. And then when they won, I was so happy for the city. I was so happy for the Colorado Avalanche and just was so happy to see all that work come together today. I couldn't think of a better time for something like this to take place. This event has been great for the businesses of Denver, and then as far as just a moral boost to the city, I think it's just great timing, and to see everybody just gelling around this great, successful play for the Cup. I mean, it's just been really exciting, and I'm really happy for the city of Denver.
And there's been people out here since 5:30 this morning, so there's true fans out here.
And there's just a lot of joy that comes with celebrating something this big in a town like Denver, where we are the kind of bright, friendly people that we are.
We're here to celebrate all the folks who put this together in the last couple of weeks. Your city and county of Denver. Give them a round of applause.
I think it was really great, a great way for the city to be put out there on the stage, the local media stage, and show what we can do as a city as far as putting on a great event for folks.
We have such an incredible team of employees at the city of Denver, and no matter what the department is or what an individual's role is, we really come together as a team across the city to produce events like this. You'll have people whose day jobs are vastly different from putting on a big event who are pitching in and helping out. We have our entire Denver 8 TV crew, our marketing services team, technology services, Office of Special Events, Mayor's Office, you name it, down the line. Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, our Climate and Sustainability Office. I mean, it's facilities. We can't do this without general services. So it really is a massive effort that involves so many people and departments to give our residents something to celebrate and to do it safely.
Come on, everybody, don't stop, don't quit. Do it like this. Do it like this.
My name is Ethan Levy. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm the founder of Dork Dancing. Dork Dancing is a lot of things, but most simply it sounds exactly like what it is, so it's dancing like a dork. But the purpose of it is to do something good for mental health. I started Dork Dancing in response to COVID-19 and the mental health crisis that ensued after lockdown, and thought that it'd be something helpful to introduce this idea of dork dancing as a simple way to encourage people to dance and feel better as a result of dancing.
My name is Sarah Rose Reynolds. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm a dork. When I come out and dork dance, I could just move in all kinds of crazy ways and jump up and down, and every time I dork dance, afterwards I feel better.
There's no right or wrong way to dork dance. If you move anything, you're already dork dancing. Moving your elbows, right, knee, feet, head, fingers, a combination. Doesn't matter how you look, so long as you're moving. And then the hope is through that movement, you'll start to enjoy the process. And so that's how you dork dance. Dork dancing is really for anyone, so long as you sort of agree with the values and sort of spirit of what we're doing in terms of mental health advocacy, then you're welcome to participate in the process of dork dancing and share a journey of mental health advocacy. So we hope that people can identify with what we're doing and feel safe and confident to join. So I'm personally diagnosed as bipolar, so I've experienced episodes of mental illness. Ended up in the psychiatric hospital a few times, and so more or less those experiences have informed my perspective related to issues around mental health. A lot of people are struggling with different types of mental health issues and challenges, and it's difficult to talk about. And if we can gain comfort and confidence to talk about it, it can help us in our own mental health journey and heal together as families, as friends, and as a community.
I'm a unique one because I actually have a very bubbly personality, and no one ever expects that I struggle with mental illness. But I've actually struggled with depression and anxiety for most of my life. And I can't tell you how many times people have said to me, "God, you seem to be the happiest person in the entire world." And in my mind, I think, if they only knew. So it really can be an invisible disease. And it hasn't been until the last few years that I've really decided to open up about it and let people know I actually do struggle with it.
My name is Ryan Carrion. I'm a dork. I was a resident advisor back in college, and so I had to deal with a lot of students who were really struggling with that. And so that was really when I started to have my first opportunity to see kind of the resources that we have available for mental health care, and realistically it's lacking. And that's one of the reasons why I think that dork dancing is such a powerful thing.
And when I found out that they had something called dork dancing, I was like, oh my God, that's like meant for me. And it's the first time in my life where I have felt totally comfortable being exactly who I am, moving my body. And it's given me a sense of confidence I've never had before. I'm 41 years old. I've never felt completely comfortable in my own body. And in the last 3 months, I feel like I can just embrace who I am exactly as I am because of this community.
I'm Shelby Swan, and I am a dork dancer. I have found a sense of belonging in the community. I think we are all hardwired for human connection, and I think especially being someone who lives and experiences mental illness, it is so essential to kind of connect and build that community and feel like you belong somewhere. I think it's so exciting, you know, the opportunities that it creates for people to just, you know, see us and kind of raise awareness around mental health.
There's this inherent connection that we all have on our mental health journey, and the fact that we're in this space where we can feel like we have the freedom to be whoever we want to be. And that authenticity, that depth of connection is the reason that I think that this community is so powerful. It's why I keep coming back.
I have never seen anything like this before, like the dork dancing community. And I will be honest, in the past, if I had seen people just dancing at a park, having a good time, I probably would have been like, oh God, why are they doing that? Like, I could never do that. Now, when I'm dancing with fellow dork dancers, sometimes I think, I wonder what people are thinking when they're looking at us. And then my next thought is, I don't care, which is incredible.
When we think about fashion, typically people start to think about New York, Milan, Paris, London, right? So what does Denver have to offer? And I think that in order for those 4 cities, those big cities, to have new, fresh talent, they look to smaller markets and smaller demographics. So what we can offer is a platform for emerging talent that maybe just doesn't have that capability of being noticed in those larger cities, and we can give those emerging, you know, stars that time. I'm Haley Hoda, and I am the runway producer and director for Denver Fashion Week. Tonight actually is all about local couture. So we're gonna focus tonight on original pieces. So each individual piece, there's nothing else like it, right? That's what couture means, that there's one of a kind. So each segment is going to be very individual, all the way from, you know, somewhat wedding dresses, all the way down to, you know, corsets and things like that. So couture can really mean anything.
My name is Cora Aversano, and I'm the designer of Aversano Designs. I grew up in Lakewood. My parents still live in the same home that I grew up in, actually. So I started designing a 1.5 years ago. I have a love of like 60s movies, a little old school glam, I would say. So my first 2 gowns, the whole point of it was bold and beautiful, pretty much. The glamorous elegance of the 60s, like Hollywood 60s. So then I brought that into this new collection. The funniest thing that I do when I make dresses is I watch Golden Girls the whole time. Don't ask me why, that's just my go-to. But I feel like once I'm in it, it's just like you just keep going. So I feel like I can make them pretty quickly. It was probably about 2 months ago that I said I would do it. So it's been a whirlwind of making 10 gowns, but it's come along pretty well, I would say. So yeah.
I think it's important to highlight local talent because, you know, local designers, they're artists, right? Like, and if we hear this about artists all the time, starving artists, but it's only that because they don't know the resources, they don't know where to start. So creating a platform where they can actually come together with a community of like-minded individuals, they can get the resources that maybe they didn't know were accessible to them. So what we do is create a stage for that emerging talent to know where to go next and how to elevate each time that they do.
I feel like the platform's huge because there's not a lot of fashion going on in Denver in this kind of realm. A lot of people are trying to start runway shows, but really Denver Fashion Week is the first one that actually did one and has done it pretty well and has gotten a lot of people to it. So I feel like for designers, it's kind of like your moment for a Denver fashion in general, to like actually show what you have. A lot of people get to see your designs. I feel like ever since a lot of the pictures are on the pamphlets and on their Instagram and things like that, a lot of people have reached out to me about my designs. So that's been like a great way for me to be able to talk to people about that and kind of show more of my designs that people usually wouldn't see. But everyone's been so nice and really welcoming, which has been really awesome. And all the models are so great and really excited. I'm really happy to see it all come together.
So inclusivity is actually the center of Denver Fashion Week. So what we offer to models is a fully inclusive platform that we have, models from all creeds, all colors, all heights, all sizes. We do not cast based on anything other than confidence and conviction. So really, if you think it's pretty possible. So if you want to come out and model, like we just tell anyone and everyone that you can have that chance and that opportunity. So our nonprofit this year is Dress for Success Denver, and they're actually very on par with supporting women get professional attire and support for going on job interviews or honestly just going out in the workforce. It's kind of like sometimes, again, right, we don't know what resources we have or what to do with those resources. So to be able to have someone to go to, it's such a huge thing, especially, when you go to a job interview and you have a brand new jacket or a brand new shirt, it does something mentally to you. It's not just fashion, right? So I think that Dress for Success Denver is an amazing partnership for a nonprofit this season. If you've never been to a Denver Fashion Week runway experience, expect to be excited because honestly, every single night is centered around a different theme because it's for everyone, right? We have all the way kids shows, streetwear, couture, so really it could be something brand new to you that maybe you're just like, I just want to try this night. But I definitely think originality, excitement, creativity, and community. I think that especially after the past few years, community is such a huge thing that we've all been lacking. And I want to speak for everyone when I say I'm very excited to bring these creatives together again and be able to have us back on the runway doing what we love.
The Luna family has had a profound impact on the Denver metro area and beyond for decades. When a tennis pioneer and a prolific artist came together, the marriage created a unique blend of art and athletics, and an enduring legacy with 6 dynamic siblings at the helm, whose impact on local culture is undeniable.
I am Daniel Luna.
And I'm Susan Marie Luna. Daniel's my eldest brother, and I am the youngest girl of the family with 5 brothers. We're 6th generation Coloradoans on my mother's side from the San Luis Valley. And on my father's side, my father was 1st generation here in the United States. His folks were from Mexico. My father was a tennis player and actually got a tennis scholarship to CU Boulder and played for the team up there. And married my beautiful mother, who really was just a natural artist. And her father was also an artist, and so that was the nexus of combining the two. And I just grew up with both of those wonderful things in my life.
Well, my dad was also a teacher and an academic. That was a huge part of our upbringing, was education. And my mom, she didn't let people compromise. She didn't accept reasons that were usually based on laziness. And for her, she wanted people to be able to access the joy and the humor in life. And only through discipline could you do that. You have to have the discipline and not look at it as a chore, but look at it rather as a great gift that we as human beings can achieve a different level of being aware of our lives through discipline.
The Luna siblings have each made an impact in both athletic and artistic disciplines and share a special bond.
We were very close. I was very close to my brothers. I was actually felt very protective of my brothers because they viewed the world, my family viewed the world in a different way, right? It was very creative, and a lot of outside folks weren't used to that. I was fortunate to grow up in that world because once I realized as an adult, a lot of people don't have art in their life, nor do they do sports or excel at sports. In retrospect, I'm so blessed that I had that in my life.
Put it more romantically, I was the shaman. I was also an athlete, you know, and the artist and the academic. All of those things.
Susan was able to blend all aspects of her heritage by launching Luna Apparel that can be found at Zone Marketplace in Denver, an incubator that supports small businesses and entrepreneurs.
It was really going back to my center and finding a place that makes me happy and brings me joy, and it's always been art and tennis. I wanted to brighten up the tennis scene too and make it creative and fun, and it should be affordable. It should be something that people can have a little bit of Colorado, a unique part of Colorado. I grew up playing in a very white-dominated sport, and to have a little Latin flair, I thought that would be really cool.
Before his untimely passing last year, Brother Bob Luna had rendered an imagining of a community-centered mural, and several key community leaders, students, and local artists stepped in to bring Bob's vision to life. The mural was originally located at the mission-driven Same Cafe and recently found its permanent home at the Tattered Cover Colfax location. History Colorado has been working with the Lunas to archive their significant collection.
They do have a new curator now at the museum whose sole purpose is to collect and nurture and develop Latino, Mexicano, Chicano artifacts and ephemeral and narratives and stories at History Colorado. I have been sort of the keeper of a lot of artwork after my mother passed away, and just growing up with it, I've collected a lot of family artwork, and so I've been working with them to move some of my family's artwork into the museum.
I would wish our legacy would be that we tried to help through teaching and mostly through sharing different options of existence so as to enhance more individuals' ability to joke with each other. That is my main
levity. I think I'd like our legacy to be that we had the courage to fight for change and make the world a better place. Yeah.
On a beautiful day at the Aurora Reservoir, the community gathers for a fun day on the water. At the boat launch, a unique vessel is carefully placed on the water, and a dedicated team prepares to train for competition like no other.
The CDBF, or Colorado Dragon Boat Festival, was more or less to celebrate Asian culture. And what better way to promote that with Hong Kong or Taiwan style dragon boat racing? Basically, is about 20 paddlers, led by a drummer and then a stern who steers the boat.
Before we get onto the water, we try to balance the left and right side of the boat. And then once we have everyone here, we then balance the front and rear side of the boat. We don't want too much weight on the front of the boat. We'll nosedive, too much weight in the rear. We'll have the front sort of lift up out of the water. We're not making good contact at that point for paddles in the water to gain speed.
And it's always been just a wonderful experience. Not only the actual paddling, I just love paddling, but then you take that element and you elevate it with the teamwork, and you're on a boat with 22 other people, and you have to be exactly in time and just row almost as one person. And so it takes a sport that's already cool, canoeing, and it just elevates it to the next level.
The Dragon Boat races are part of the annual Colorado Dragon Boat Festival, which takes place at Sloan's Lake Park in July. The event has a history of more than 2,000 years in Chinese culture.
4 boats going neck and neck on these races at Sloan's Lake, with an ongoing food market, food festival. It's a great time for the kids at Sloan's Lake.
I joined the team in about 2009 timeframe, but there's a lot of friendships that kind of been established, because of that, you know what I mean? And after that, even after we're done racing, we hang out at the festival.
So I think it's a really wonderful opportunity, especially for people in Colorado, to go learn not only about the sport of dragon boating, which is kind of at the heart of the festival, but also about Asian culture in Colorado, right here in the heart of America.
The event is held in memory of poet and politician Chu Yun. He served as trusted advisor to King Huai in the Chu'u Kingdom during the Warring States period. Accused of being a traitor, Chu was exiled and could do nothing but witness the fall of his beloved kingdom. Distraught, Chu Yun threw himself into the Milua River and drowned. In commemoration of Chu, the people created the Dragon Boat Festival.
The level competition, is the draw, right? You know what I mean? So there's many aspects where we can lure somebody to come out to CDBF during the day.
I think we just get out there and do the best that we can. There's a few, actually there's a lot of fantastic teams out there, and more than anything, it's an honor to paddle alongside them. And when you get a really good team, it just kind of elevates all the other teams in Colorado.
The Colorado Dragon Boat Festival started back in 2001 when a group of community leaders came together to create an event that really showcased and highlighted the too often unseen and unheard Asian American Pacific Islander people. What they thought would be a small event turned into the largest Dragon Boat Festival in the country and the largest AAPI celebration in the U.S.
Not only do you have the excitement of the dragon boat races going the whole weekend, so you've got that as a backdrop, but then you've got tons of vendors and nice people, fun event, and then you got the backdrop of the races, which is just super exciting.
It is the year of the tiger. It's part of the Chinese zodiac calendar.
Chinese zodiacs are based on the heavily stems and branches system, which coordinates one of 5 elements: metal, water, wood, fire, and earth, to each tiger year on a rotating basis. That means every 60 years, one element will apply to the zodiac sign and have certain personality traits associated with it. Those born as a water tiger are said to have great interpersonal relationships and be very family-oriented.
You got to try this. The level competition, is the draw, right? You know what I mean? So there's many aspects where we can lure somebody to come out to CDBF during the day.
It just feels like it's in my soul to be on the water. When you're out on the water, your nerves are just skyrocketing, and the crowd's cheering, and all we can think about is just kind of staying calm and looking back towards land is my favorite memory, especially during race day.
Celebrate the culture and community whenever the Dragon Boat Festival happens. The boat races are a thrill, and there is something for everyone. Performances, food, shopping, art, and the opportunity to come together as a community to celebrate the Asian American Pacific Islander people. To learn more, visit cdbf.org. Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.